Good morning, everybody. So, today, it's a busy day, but, I want to have a little fun before my day starts, so I figured I'd try and get the session out. Got the Matrix app going. I also want to talk to you about some of these recorders that I've been purchasing lately, EVP recorders. I'm going to turn this down for a minute, guys. I didn't like that name. Alright, so I've been buying these digital recorders because I can't afford a DR60. As noisy as people say they are with the internal noise, that's what it is that's bringing these EVPs out. And when you guys buy these things, you want a low quality recorder, something that produces that static, that noise, because that's like the radios, that's what they use. I mean, other than the apps. But with the radios, they always say they like the static more. So I've been buying these recorders, Olympus's, Sony's, what else did I get? I got an RCA one, an old RCA one. I got like 4 of them. And I'm not saying that they're bad, but they're not working for me. One thing that worked really, really awesome yesterday is I was doing a little video in replies to Mr. Geobox again, was this old Chinese, well, it wasn't old, it was a new Chinese, like a GoPro type thing. And it was a very cheap imitation GoPro. I think you can get them for about 80 bucks online, 20 if you search. But the whole time I was talking and testing it out, I could hear whispers behind me. I wish I would have shut up more because there was so much going on behind that audio. And when I stopped, it would talk a little bit and then it would stop after me. But it was like it was answering me while I was speaking. But it's such a pain in the ass to use. I couldn't get the program to work as a webcam without jumping through hoops, and I don't have the patience for that every time I want to use something. It wouldn't connect to Wi-Fi, although that it was being seen and it was trying to read. It would connect maybe 1 out of 10 times. But man, for EVPs, maybe I should keep it. I was going to send it back. It's a pain in the ass, but I guess if you know that what you're going to do and you set it up for that, and you're only going to use it when you do EVPs, it might be okay. But as for a camera that is an everyday usage, no, it's a piece of junk. And the name of it was H264. It was an H264 4K sports cam. That's what it's called. Maybe not H264. I'm getting screwed up. It's just a 4K extreme EIE sports cam. That's right. That's what it is. The quality is okay. It's nothing great. Your phone is probably much better, an old phone. But yeah, their idea of 4K and our idea of 4K, or any kind of K for that matter, is 2 totally different things. So, but I also have 4 or 5 of these little recorders, and instead of just having them sit around, maybe I'll start giving them away to people. And just because it doesn't work for me doesn't mean it won't work for somebody else. And they say to use these on the lowest resolution. Like this one doesn't have an external SD card that you can put into it. It only has the space that's on it, and that is, I think, 64 megabytes, which is on LP like 3 hours. On the best quality setting, it is an hour. An hour is good for doing EVP sessions. And if you're in a place, over the weekend, you're just going to have to get the information off of it and save it. But this is supposed to be a really good recorder, and I've tried it for a week and a half solid, and I'm not really getting anything off of it. I get more off my phone. But, hey, I'll give them away. I've got a couple Sonys. I've got, like I said, I've got the RCA, and I think I got another one. Just not for me. So, there's that. One thing, let me turn on I found my recorder. No trickery going on. It was just stuffed in between my seat and the car. So let's get this going. I hear you in there, Jasper. So, as everybody knows, I've been helping with the Virgin House, the haunted house, from a friend of a friend. And we haven't been able to really get in there and do anything. There's water in the basement, which is making the house very cold because it's freezing and it's melting, and it's still freezing outside today. It snowed again. So we got to get down there and get the water out of the basement because people are booked, man, and they're starting to come in. And we've got the roof to do still. We've got cleanup to do, and we're going to be busting our humps to get it done before people come in, you know, and it's got to be safe. So, along with that is a little story of one of the resident spirits there. I'm going to turn this up first before I get into this little story here of the Two Bridges Hotel. Who's here with me today? Hear that? Hear that? That's not good. Can I get your names, please?
The children of the town
Lewis, Carol,
there will be.
Jasper. Stop growling.
Okay.
That ain't cool.
Stay with Jake.
But why? You know why.
Hard-headed.
So, we've got a spirit, I believe, that was trying to trick me into trust. I'm not that stupid. I'm dumb, but I'm not that dumb. And I put the feelers out there. You know, I got 3 amigos here that are pretty damn cool. So this spirit, an ancient spirit, I believe, never human, stays down at the Virgin House. And for the past week, my radios kept turning on between the hours of 10 and 11, usually around that 10:30 mark. And the one day I was sitting here, the radio turned on. I asked who was there. I didn't get anything.
What are you going to do about it?
At 3 o'clock, it went on again. I couldn't get an answer out of it. And I basically said, if you're going to ring my doorbell, you better be there. And I turned off the radio. The next morning, it was like 10:25, 10:26. I looked up at the clock because I didn't know if there was an alarm set on the radio and it was going off. But that day, the other radio went off. Sorry. The other radio went off. So I asked who it was, and I got a reply of Black. And Black is a spirit that stays at the Virgin House, who would visit the little girl in her bedroom at night. He lives in the basement, and he will appear as shadows in the house. And I actually have him on video coming up out of the floor as a dark shadow, going up the wall and around, standing by the girl who grew up in the house. And then I've got him going around the wall again and disappears. So he said his name was Black, and I asked him what he needed. You know, I was respectful. I'm always respectful. And I heard the word help. So, you know, of course, like if there's anything you need help with, you know, I'll try and help you the best I can. Left it at that. The next day, it went off again at 10:37, and I answered the radio, and I asked who it was. He said his name was Black. I said, what do you need, Black? He said, help. I said, what's the matter? And it said, need help. So I got a hold of Kathy finally, and I asked her what's going on with that. She said it was very odd for him to contact anybody, because as she knew him, or knows him, he was never a living spirit. And there was be no reason for him to need help from anybody. Are you guys listening to this story? Are you following the story, you guys? Okay, hey Jasper. So, we were trying to figure out why he would be contacting me, and she said the only thing that she could think of is maybe the water in the basement. Maybe he doesn't like it down because he stays in the basement, but he also stays upstairs in one of the rooms that are extremely active. So I said, what's the problem? Is there too much water down there in the basement? I said, how much is down there? He said about a foot. So I asked Kathy how much water was in the basement because I haven't been down there. She said like a foot and a half. I'm like, okay, so that was a relevant reply. And she said to be careful of him. Duly noted. So I asked my friends last night if I was trying to be deceived, tricked. And I got the sense, I didn't get an answer, but I got the sense of there's a possibility. Now, if that's totally not true, that's awesome. I'll always show respect. I'll always talk to them. But if I'm being tricked, you can't be around me, okay? There's no reason to be tricking people. I don't know what it is that you're trying to gain. But you know the spirits. Anybody that comes in here and tries to trick me, you got to know the spirits that are here, and you got to know what my guide is. I'm not going to just let that through. That's not going to happen. And I ask for their help. I ask for their protection every day. I mean, it's not just because I'm doing a session. It's every day. I'm always doing that, and I sage this place, you know, on a consistent basis. And maybe we'll do a little video with that. I'll show you how I sage this place to keep it clean. Because I was told by Spirit to keep it clean because of the windows that I have here and the way that they're set up to the street. So with that said, anybody that finds me inviting, it's great, but I don't accept trickery. I won't accept trickery.
Select yourself. It doesn't leave.
So if you have any ill will towards me, I suggest we just not communicate. Stop growling.
About your blindness.
You guys have heard this app many, many, many times. Have you ever heard growling out of it? No, you haven't. Never. I've done dozens
And that's what told
with this app. Jasper, are you there? Lewis? Carol, are you guys there?
At the mind you wanted for yourself might
Am I right in my assumptions? I am right? Lewis, is that true? I heard a yes, and I heard somebody say, Lewis, is that true? Lewis, is that true? Jasper, is it true? So how's the situation here? How are we? Are we good? Yeah. All right, so whatever it is that's coming through is not here. It's there. Growling doesn't scare me. So, stop. A lot of things don't scare me anymore. I'll deal with it.
There's fine.
And I'll protect myself.
Remember this.
But you will see me at that house.
You can save up to 4.
And I'm trying to help the person who owns that house so that you have a place to stay. There's a lot of history there. There's a lot of spirits there. He's not the only one. There's literally dozens, if not a
I got
hundred.
one.
Or more. So if you like having a place to stay, you should be grateful that there are people that care enough about that house and its history to keep it up and running. And you shouldn't try to trick people. Because what happens if that house crumbles to the ground? Where does your basement go? Where does your house go? Where does everybody else in that place go?
Sound pattern.
Okay? Do we have an understanding? Do we have mutual respect?
Me and you.
You never said I didn't. I'm not disrespecting you, and I never said I disrespect
Better,
you.
Jen.
Johnny.
But don't take advantage, okay? All right. So let's move on with this. So about 10 minutes out of this town is a place called Waterport, New York. And Waterport, New York sits on Lake.
Use Pepsodent twice a day.
We've got a lot of fishermen that come out for charters from New Jersey, Pennsylvania area. They come out here and they do charters all summer long, and they stay at the lake. And just before the lake, a mile out, is a hotel, which is now a house. It changed hands a few years ago, but it used to be called the Two Bridges Hotel. And as you can gather, it sat by two bridges. And you can go down there now and they rent kayaks and boats, all sorts of stuff for the fishermen. So this place is extremely haunted. I've been in there. I've done signs for the people who live there, and they've invited me into the home. And she would tell me stories about how there were a couple hangings on the property. There were shootouts. I mean, it's an 1800s place, and they only live in one little section of this place. Well, probably a 1,500 square feet out of this whole hotel they live in. And there's voices. There's walking up and down stairs at night. She says her great big recliner chair. The lady that comes in to clean, she'll move it to vacuum, and then she'll move it back to its spot, on the rug, put it right back into the holes, and the next day it'll be turned again. And it's like they want it moved in a certain place. She says it's a constant battle. They're always moving the chair back and forth. So I was supposed to go in there with the team, but it's hard to get a hold of them because they're snowbirds, and then in the summer they're so busy with the lake that it's just impossible to ever get in there. But that Two Bridges Hotel, let me see if I can quickly go through this. They had a bar room, they had a hotel entrance, and they had some fancy food in there. They used to have oysters, and they would serve all sorts of seafood that they would ship in by the looks of things. Alongside the west side of the building, the Two Bridges Hotel, painted between the windows on the second floor and the name of the hotel, again, depicted at the peak of the building on the front side. The two bridges that gave the area the name are shown. The covered bridge spanning the Oak Orchard River and the bridge crossing Marsh Creek. So I'll show you the picture, but on the far side of the building, it says the hotel's name, and that sits where the one bridge is, and then there's a creek that goes around
Less expensive.
and up to the lake. And then it says hotel here
Or if you shop.
on the front of the building, which also is on the road where the bridge is now closed. It goes to the second bridge. Let's see.
Please consent.
So prior to the advent of
Next
rural
year?
delivery, Carlton's post office was located at this site. Further east was a stable for horses. These two pieces were later removed. Hey, you guys. Did you guys ever stay down at the hotel in Carlton? Yes? Lewis, did you stay down at the Carlton at the Oak Orchard River? What did you guys do at the Two Bridges Hotel?
Grover'd better pay up. What's that talking, sir?
Jasper, did you ever stay at the Two Bridges Hotel?
Letting expert me.
The earliest hotel on this site was a brick structure built prior to 1870. When that building burned, this structure, the Two Bridges Hotel, replaced it. Okay. The hotel had a long list of proprietors, starting with R.R. Tennant in its earliest years, and later falling under the ownership of Whaley and Palmer Weiland and King, George Gunther, George Root, Ashley Blake, Philip Podgers, Charles Conley, and Benjamin Bamber. Do you guys know any of those? Which person do you know? Can you tell me the name of the person you know out of that list? The store also had a lengthy list of owners who often doubled as postmaster during their tenure because, like I said, there was a post office in there. Benjamin Fowler, who was likely the owner of the store when this photo was taken, and James Waldron were two of the early proprietors of the business before Ben Bamber took control. The hotel was the center of community events during its heyday. Proprietors frequently held parties for New Year's Eve, Washington's birthday, Independence Day, and other patriotic celebrations. Did you guys ever go there for any events? What events did you go there for? So we learned Mr. Jasper's last name is Enoch, right? Jasper, your last name is Enoch? Now I put it out there, yep, I put it out there on Facebook because I do know that name in this town, and I went to school with one person named Enoch, but I didn't really know them. But I didn't get any biters on Facebook contacting me. I asked if anybody knew their family history well with that last name, and nobody contacted me back, and I waited a week. I mean, I'll try again, but initially that was a no. Because Jasper, you did say you were from this town, correct? Jasper, do you want to speak to anybody that may be related to you? Could you answer that one more time for me?
I didn't see it.
Okay. I'm going to keep trying, though. Let's see what else. So the store was one of the few local spots where residents could purchase dry goods and other necessities such as medicines. In 1937, the area ceased to exist as Two Bridges, when the name was inadvertently changed to The Bridges. Well, we always called it Two Bridges growing up. The Bridges, with the addition of the Route 18 span over the Oak Orchard River, I suppose with the removal of the Orchard River Road Bridge, we can once again call the area Two Bridges. All right. So that's the story of the two bridges. I'll put a link of the picture up in with this video. Did you guys go fishing a lot? Did you like fishing? What did you guys do for fun? What was your hobbies? Don't say drinking, Jasper. What was your hobbies?
No?
Okay, so that's it, you guys. Two little stories today. Place feels okay today, but we're gonna give it a dousing of sage today, though. Anyway, and basically what I just do is big old thing of sage. I light the thing on fire. I let it smolder out to a smoke, and then I just fan it. I ask for the protection, I ask for the light, I ask for my good spirits to protect, say a prayer, start in the back room, come out to the front, open the door, and let the fuckers out. Should we sage this place, you guys? I'm gonna sage it up. Alright, you guys. That's it. It's a long one. I gotta go through this. Hopefully there's no editing I need to do. Well, it's not an editing, it's what comes out of there. That's where all the work comes. You guys have a good day. Thank you, okay? I appreciate it. They ain't gonna let nothing happen here. No way. All right. Goodbye. Goodbye.